What's up, guys? This is Alex Keeson. I just wanted to touch base with you and, um, well, first of all, wish you a good week, and I'm sure definitely a good day because the day just starting, and I'm sure there's a lot of goals, there's a lot of initiatives, and a lot of things that you want to accomplish. And just in general, have a great day, and set yourself up for the next upcoming week, for future day, and just make sure that everything that you do is indeed what you intended to do. And kind of today to kind of help you with that, and hopefully to kind of reset the mindset for the day, and then also moving forward is really just start thinking about how you view daily initiatives, daily goals, daily objectives, and in your personal point of view, not the point of view of somebody else. How do you live your life in your own terms, and the way you envision versus how it's visioned and how it's lived by someone else? So I know a lot of times that we think about, and we tend to be conditioned, or we have been conditioned to live in the way where how everybody else thinks, and this is what's popular, this is what I'm supposed to do in life. And whether it's this is the popular job, this is a popular career, this is popular place to live, or whatever it may be, or just in general, this is for example, this is the car that I'm supposed to have because everybody else has one, and or everybody's is buying one. But is that really something that you want, or is that something that just popular, and you're kind of almost forcing yourself into that decision? And that goes for not just material possessions that you acquire over a period of time, but also things that non-material. Your personal choice, your choice of friends, your choice of the type of food you eat, the lifestyle you live, and just in general who you are, because what we tend to do, because that's kind of what's expected, unless do some self-searching. You realize this is perhaps this is not something that's right for you. Maybe that's something that's right for your family, and then make that different decision for yourself. So we tend to forget about that, and then we tend to just kind of get into this whole mindset of because everybody else doing it, or because this is popular, or because this is what I'm expected to do. Then I guess that's something that I need to do, and I need to the kind of the lifestyle that you need to live. But that may not be the case all the time. Perhaps this is not something that maybe that's not something that you want, or for yourself, for your family. So think about that next time you make an important decision in your life. And perhaps not, it doesn't have to be life-changing decision. Perhaps it's something that's a daily routine that you take. Perhaps this is uh, what do you do in your job on a daily basis, the approach that you have towards solving problems. um, Whether you join a specific group, just because everybody else is telling you to join, or because everybody's saying that is the popular group to join. But is that something that you want? And a lot of times we hear things, and I'm sure you hear many speakers, many successful people are telling you, whether it's through social media or in person, hey, I'm successful, so in order for you to be successful, you can go ahead, and you shouldn't be stuck in 9 to 5 job, full time, and that's all you do, and put you as and then don't try different opportunities, or so in order to be successful, in order to start making money, in order to live the life that you want, you got to start your own business, you have to quit your job. But and then you leave that conversation, you leave that conference, and the whole time you're thinking like, okay, well, should I go ahead and quit my job, and then start open my own business, and drop everything that I have all the obligations, all the bills, my family, my responsibilities, my obligations to the company, my obligations to my friends, my family. That's the question that you're asking, and and that's what's kind of holding you back a lot of times. But next time you're in that situation, ask yourself: is that something, that decision, is that something that's right for you? Because in most cases, you can't just drop everything, quit your job, and that's paying your bills, that's taking care of your family, that's putting food on the table, and then just get up and go somewhere and start your business and start traveling around the world, just because that's what's popular, or that's what's ever somebody else is telling you to do, and just because they're successful. But do you really know what they did and how they got there? Do you know what kind of sacrifices they had to make, and what kind of roadblocks, what kind of failures they had to face? And good and bad. Do you know what things they have to go through in order to get to the point where they are today, to be successful? You don't. Only they do. So, and just like they don't know your life, they don't know your specific situation. They don't know your family, and what's important to you and them. So, whenever you make that decision, that's the question that you need to ask yourself: is that, is this the right thing to do at this point of time for me and for my family, for my friends, and then make the right call at that point? Because in other cases, you can do a lot of different things. You can still support your family. You can begin working on your hobby. Begin working on your passion, part time, perhaps, if your passion is to open your own business, and do the thing that you love. Eventually, sometime, sometime, whenever it's the right thing to do, full time. In the meantime, of course, maintain your 9 to 5 job, maintain your full-time career, and begin developing and doing the best you possibly can in that field, in your field of expertise, and continue growing and developing your career. Then eventually you can get into, when the time is right, once you know that this is something that you want to do, and that's the right thing to do for yourself and for your family. Then at that point, you'll know when it's time to change. You'll know when it's time to take the next step. But in the meantime, the decision may be that right now, this is the right now for me to continue to grow myself, develop myself in my existing role in my career, and the company that you may be in, and continue to deliver the results that are expected of you, and more. And in the meantime, perhaps you can continue working on your passion, your hobby, your part-time business on the side. Maybe that's something that you want to do, and then build that up. And then once it's off the ground and running, and once you start generating revenue, and once you're comfortable at the point where this is, right now I'm comfortable to perhaps fully immerse myself into my own business, and because it's bringing the revenue you expected, it's bringing uh, the joy and the happiness and everything else that you thought about, of owning a business. At that point, then you can make that call, right? It's always, the choice is always yours. So, and that's the key here: is the choice is yours, not somebody else's. So you have to make the choice of what to do in anything you do. That's just a career, but daily interactions, and other things that I mentioned earlier, based on what you think is the right, and when it's the right thing to do. When is the right time to change? When is the right time to take the risk? And so don't get yourself into that mindset, into that corner where you only doing what somebody else is telling you to do because they like it, they think it's the right thing to do for you, and without knowing your specific circumstances, without knowing you and what's important to you. So keep that in mind, as you go about your day, as you go about your week, and life, and just life in general. And whenever you're facing that type of situation, when you're facing, when somebody's telling you, what you should be doing because that's what everybody else does, think about it from perspective of, you be a little selfish, right? And just think about what's important to you, and then figure out, okay, this is something that it's great, it's popular, I'm happy for everyone that's part of this group or organization, but at the same time, is this this is not something that perhaps I want to be part of. And and this time I'm making a slightly different decision, and my decision is continue to do what's important to me. So whatever the case may be in that situation, right? So other than that, that's really the whole point of this video today, is just to remind you guys that it's you are unique, you are awesome, and you make your own decisions in life, and you should be looking from every situation, every angle, every risk that you take needs to be calculated. And what's calculated is risk, is knowing that it's important to take a step forward, but it's important to, before you taking that step, knowing that it's the right step to take. It's calculated, and you know what the outcomes may be. So this was Alexis, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of the week and day, and hopefully your month is going just as great as it is as mine. Take care.